Hi, everyone. This is going to be lecture capture number 2 for the first quiz. And this is going to be over the research methods. Okay, so again, you're going to want to focus on matching and multiple choice type questions for these. So I'm going to start with descriptive research, and this is basically research that is geared to describe. It is going to talk about what behavior is being seen. Different ways that you can do it would be through a survey or an interview or a case study. You can also do it through direct observation and recording of behavior. So surveys are great because they are able to gather information that you can't necessarily see, basically people's attitudes, their beliefs, their feelings. You have to make sure that those questions are very specific so that you're getting the actual response. You also might need to check for authenticity of those responses, making sure that the answer that they're giving is really what they mean. A problem that we find with descriptive research, the surveys and interviews, if there is not anonymity, often people will give the answer they think they should give as opposed to what is actually true. Case studies are great also because they give a lot of information about a unique population or potentially a business or an organization. However, because of the fact that it's very unique to that person or that individual, they are not necessarily able to be duplicated, so they lack generalizability. Correlational research is going to look at two variables. They're going to specifically look at the strength and the direction of those variables. And this will not give you causation because the only way that you can get causation is through experimental research. Experimental research has the goal to find a cause and effect relationship, and the cause is what you are manipulating or what you think will cause a change, and the effect is the changes that are measured in that behavior. So you have to have an independent variable, a dependent variable, also an experimental group and a control group. The independent variable is what you think might cause the change, so you manipulate it and you influence it. The dependent variable is what you're measuring, so it is going to be what is manipulated by the independent variable. And your experimental group is going to be the group that has contact with the independent variable. And your control group will have everything else the same aside from that independent variable. Two different ways you can do research over time involve cross-sectional approaches and longitudinal approaches. They both give you information over time. However, when you look at the cross-sectional, you're looking at people of different ages compared one time. So basically a 16-year-old, an 18-year-old, a 22-year-old, a 32-year-old, 44-year-olds. And if you're looking at their driving records, you can tell between 16 and 42, this is what happens to driving records, but we don't really know about each individual. So we don't have information of change or stability over time. If you wanted to do that, you're going to have to go with the longitudinal, and that is going to study the same people over time. So you know specifically, does the 16-year-old become a better driver by the time they are 44? Obviously, this is going to be time consuming because you have to wait for that person to age. And because of that, you have the potential of people dropping out. So all of the different research methods have pros and cons, and you really have to think of what your research question is and find the right question or research method for you. So hopefully those two PowerPoint reviews will be helpful for you in studying for the quiz. And if you have any questions, again, feel free to reach out. Thanks.